This video is inspired by Botfail's bad balance videos. In this video, I wanted to take a look at the balance of one of the most famous characters in the Smash series, Fox, in his Brawl incarnation. Mostly because this is his worst iteration by a huge margin. Typically, Fox is considered at least top 10 in every other game, but in Brawl, Fox is considered C tier, a huge drop in placement. What is the reason for this huge drop? Let's get into it. Fox is a fast, short-range, ground-based rushdown character with below-average defense and a decent recovery. Now, I said he was a mid-tier character, but he's pretty even across the board in terms of matchups. So what happened? I'll start by going over his surprising amount of situational tools. Now, having weak or low utility attacks aren't that big a deal in Smash, because it's how you use your tools in combination with your movement that matters. But I want to get these out of the way first. Also of note, since a lot of attacks lost combo utility in Brawl, some attacks became outright useless, where they otherwise might have been used as combo starters. In fact, in other games they are. Fox's down tilt. Fox's down tilt is not very good. It does weak damage, has middling range, and there's a lot of end lag. While it can send at favorable angles, especially at the tip, it will send straight up. The high end lag makes it pretty much impossible to follow up past 20%. And those are all spacing and percent dependent, so good luck getting any of that in a match. The final nail in the coffin for this failure is that it's minus 17 on shield, and has like no pushback. You can basically punish this with anything on shield, and it gets limited return on hit, even in optimal percent. In combo percent, it's outclassed by simply spamming up tilt, which is frame 3 and ends up doing more damage because it can combo into itself. Forward tilt has similar frame data to down tilt, so it's bad for similar reasons. It has better range and is slightly faster, so it does end up having some uses. It can also be used for ground locks. Otherwise, it's minus 15 on shield, low range, and has limited combo ability. Very mediocre. Again, it's outclassed by a lot of his other attacks. Rapid Jab. This is Fox's jab finisher. It's extremely bad. There is really only one use for this, and it's to try to get a funny gimp off stage. If they're bad, they'll die to this. There are about 1 million ways to beat this, and even more ways to trade. And if you could hit someone with rapid kicks, you could just hold A for jab, which would have the same gimping effect and could actually lead into this. This attack is 0 value. It's so worthless it'll put you into debt. It leaves you minus on hit, on block, on whiff, everywhere. It's the Ganondorf of Fox's attacks. Now, down smash is actually pretty good. It is Fox's fastest smash attack at 6 frames, and has a good angle. Though you can DI it pretty easily. You can combo into it from DAir starting at 60%. You also have a jab setup on the ledge I showed you earlier. But that's really it. There isn't really that much reason to use this attack in neutral, mainly because it has so much end lag that, at low percent, you're very punishable on hit. Probably his worst smash attack, Fox's FSmash is a spinning kick with a 13-frame startup, high end lag, and moves him forward a bit. The main issue with this attack is that it's really outclassed by many other attacks in any situation. It's very unsafe on shield, and while you can space it so you don't get immediately grabbed, you're still minus 20 at best. And even though it's his longest range smash attack, it's still surprisingly short for its low speed. Here it is versus his other smash attacks. Now, those are the normal vanilla ranges for these attacks. There are a lot of ways to extend smash attacks in Brawl, so I'll show you a few max range stuff. And there are about 1,000 things you can do to extend up smash. And while it does have like a lot of range, it just really doesn't do that much more knockback than the other attacks. These attacks have high end lag and low utility, but don't have the high power that typically comes to offset these weaknesses. And this really applies to Fox as a whole. His main problem is that he has all the weaknesses of his glass cannon archetype without the compensatory strengths. He's all glass and no cannon. Now for more general problems with Fox. Fox has very low range on all his attacks. So short, he basically always had to put himself in danger just to get a hit in. Look how close I have to be to hit this guy. And keep in mind, he couldn't really combo off of his attacks, so even if you did end up hitting somebody, the risk wasn't really worth it that much. You just get some damage. Now in Brawl, you didn't carry your ground momentum into the air. You really got kind of stopped no matter how fast you're going. Which meant you couldn't like follow people into a combo. On top of that, he couldn't run jump in with an aerial to punish somebody. He kind of just had a dash in everywhere, and that came with its own problems. Specifically, Fox's dash is too damn long. Characters having differing dash distances based on their speed, and Fox's is giant. And because you can only dash dance at the beginning of your dash, he is committed the entire time. He can shield and jump out of it, but those options make him slow, which make him weak. This is the distance he has to be to like punish something with a dash, and this is basically where he has to stop moving. Because if he dashes, he's gonna run into something. And this is a huge distance where he just has to start walking. And like I said, what makes him slow makes him weak. And the fact that he has to stop with all this distance really makes him slow. It really limits his movement, and it's just because they didn't consider what happened when you remove dash dancing. A huge problem for Fox, and in all of Brawl, is how powerful shielding is. Shield stun was way too low. It made almost anything in the game punishable on shield, even if you spaced it. On top of that, shield drop was only 7 frames, so a lot of times you could drop your shield and roll up to somebody to punish them. All these problems compound with Fox. His short range assures any slight mistake will be punished, and he really only has one move that can truly be made safe on shield, and that's his back air. On top of all this, his grabs are nothing to be afraid of. While he does have a good boosted pivot grab range, and he can use his long dash to do a skid cancel grab really far away, once he actually has you, he can't do much. You can't combo off of them. His grabs have short range, and they don't kill. Fox's status as a rushdown character is a trade-off. He has the tools to get in, but his perfect range is also everyone else's perfect range. Shield made approaching really dangerous for Fox, and since Shield was universal, everyone could shut down Fox's options with one button. His high gravity and low horizontal airspeed made it hard for him to follow characters into the air. This relegated Fox to catching their landing. He was actually really good here, given his good up air range. But even then, it's not that great compared to other higher tiers in the game, and also higher tier characters like Meta Knight can just follow other characters into the air. And now we're getting to the real problems with Fox. Fox is an exploitable recovery. It's not bad, and a lot of these attacks have some of the best range in the game. I was in Bubble, and I'm easily making it back. Illusion also has a good distance, and it's really fast. Much faster startup. On top of that, Illusion can be extended. But they have very clear weaknesses. Firstly, Illusion can only be used in a small vertical range to recover, since it goes completely horizontally. A classic thing about space animals is their high gravity. Fox has the highest natural gravity in Brawl. This gives him a lot of great verticality, but mostly makes him fall victim to a lot of 0 to deaths, infinites, and locks. All this is in addition to what Fox has always been, a glass cannon. He has low survivability, period. Even if he isn't locked, chain grabbed, or gimped, he can still just die at 100%, especially if you don't DI properly. This leads to another dilemma. The longer the match goes on, the worse it gets for Fox. Not only will he take more and more stray shots, at some point he'll damage his opponent out of combo range. Once Fox gets to about 120, he'll die to about anything. And once his opponent is at 150%, his kill confirms won't work. Which leaves him to rely on his single hit enders like BAir, up air, and up smash. Now, all this doesn't make him bad, just mediocre. He's in what's called borderline tier, where he could be considered high tier, but he simply doesn't have what it takes to get there. Or does he? If you look at the Japanese tier list, he's always been considered high tier, top 10 in fact. Now this is for a few reasons. The Japanese tier list always uses 3 stages: Final D, Smashfield, Battlefield. All these stages Fox excels in, Battlefield being his best. But it's not just Japan. People are starting to believe that Fox is a top tier character. In fact, in more recent Brawl tier list, Fox is in high tier. But why top 10? Why the jump? Well, I've only been telling you half the story. Now I'll get to all of his strengths, and then I'll talk about why I think there's an argument here. While a lot of Fox's attacks are limited or useless, a lot of his attacks can be very useful when combined with his mobility, to the point where he can adjust for a wide range of situations. Back air is an air roundhouse kick that's a huge disjointed hitbox. On top of that, it can be auto-cancelled, even from a short hop fastfall, so you can spam it. This combined with the fact that it has a huge amount of shield stun and pushback that allows it to be actually safe on shield, it makes it a linchpin of his pressure game. All this would make it a very useful move on its own, but it's also really good on offense. It does 15% per hit, and it has high knockback. In Brawl, because combos are so situational, having powerful single-hit attacks were a godsend. It really helps that it has such high utility as well. It has limited combo ability due to its high knockback, however, though there are some things you can do with this attack. Fox is still kind of a combo monster. The percent timings are much tighter, but if you know them, not only can he consistently combo, he can kill. DAir is really good for this. Around about 60%, it combos into down smash. After around 100%, it combos into up smash. It also has a random chance of tripping at higher percents. But at really high percents, it can do some crazy looking things. Also, it's pretty hard to do, but you can edge guard with it. Fox's NAir is his most high utility attack. It has a 4-frame startup, high active time, and only 10 frames of landing lag. Look how fast I can do these. It has a hard hit and a soft hit, and it can be used in combos. At higher percents, it gives it a really good advantage state. This can still kill confirm at 100, but they could air dodge out of it, so you have to watch your timing. It can be used as a pretty good edge guarding tool. It's really fast, so you can use it as an out-of-shield option as well. It slices, it dices, it does 9%. His fair is a hover effect that he can use to get an even better recovery. This really helps his survivability and can help him avoid RCO ledge. For example, if he's like all the way down here, he can kind of just use fair to get back up. Which he can like grab the ledge with his regular jump. But the main thing is that when you're down here and you really have to use Firefox to get up. And Firefox is slow, so if you use Bair down here, you can get up with Illusion, which is much faster. Obviously, you can do combos with it, but you can pretty easily DI out of it because these are multi-hit attacks. It's mostly used to mitigate his predictable recovery issues. Fox's jab. Now, most jabs are nothing to write home about, though there was some with a very useful property. I said at the beginning that a big problem with Brawl was the hit stun canceling you do when you're launched. But some jabs are simply not strong enough to put you into that launch state. Here, Meta Knight's at 100%. This is because each hit had to lead into the next hit to easily auto-combo just by mashing A, right? In order to achieve this, jabs do low damage, have short startups, and low total durations, and relatively high hit stun. This makes them very, very plus. Combined with crouch canceling, certain jabs were so plus they comboed into themselves. Or other things. Fox's jab is particularly good at this. A really good setup for this was jab into shine. At low percent, it will set you up for pretty good pressure, but at around 70 to 80%, characters will start to fall out of shine, leading into a tech chase and your win condition. And that's just one use. If you hold it, it basically leaves the hitbox out constantly, and this is really good for catching air dodges, and will even catch the most egregiously broken spot dodges. On top of that, check out the range on this. It's super low commitment and even hard to punish on whip. It's even hard to punish on shield if you space it. And you get all of this on an attack that hits on frame 2. I would argue it's his best attack, and I could probably make a video on it alone. While it can get him into trouble and increase his skill floor, Fox's speed is by far his strongest asset. His speed is what typically offsets most of his built-in weaknesses. His short range is less of an issue when you can just walk up on somebody. And on top of that, you really can't react when Fox decides to dash in with something. But it's not just that he moves fast. Fox is fast in almost every way. His attacks are really fast, and if you know your auto-cancel timings, you can really throw out a ton of attacks while dodging and weaving. His high verticality up and down allow him to avoid both juggles and boost his recovery. It's hard to explain something like this, because it affects all aspects of his gameplay. The best way I can say it is that he can solve most of his problems by just running around them. Fox is an excellent projectile game, probably one of the best. You could argue characters like Diddy or Snake have better projectiles, better screen control. I think Fox, what he lacks in a projectile game, he has in an anti-projectile game. Laser is Fox's only projectile, but it's really versatile due to its auto-cancel property. Basically, there's no timing to it. You can, at any time, you can just cancel it, pretty much. You can double laser, silent laser, and most importantly, triple laser. You combine all this with his movement, and he can become really annoying. It can be used to force your opponents to approach you, which is really good for a short-range character like Fox. And if you do this well, most characters can't cancel you. It's not all good, though. Laser does like 1% damage, stales really easily, and it also doesn't flinch. So you can just walk up to Fox if you want him to stop. Though, because you can shoot so many, you can unstale your other moves with laser. Probably the most iconic attack in all of competitive Smash. Shine in Brawl is heavily gimped since you can only jump cancel it when you reflect something. This is a huge step down from his melee iteration, but it's still powerful against other projectiles. Basically, if you reflect a projectile, you can jump out of Shine and immediately play around with the new projectile. But even here, it has a drawback. In this game, if you reflect projectiles, they last a very short time. So, enough beating around the bush. Here's Fox's great equalizer. Easily one of his strongest attacks, and one of the most powerful attacks in the game. FSmash has big base knockback, very good knockback scaling, and does 17% uncharged. All this on an 8-frame startup. But that's not actually the reason this move is so good. Brawl had a lot of ways to cancel into FSmash. One classic was canceling dash into FSmash. This is pretty big in the first place, because you typically can't move while using smash attacks, Dash up smash would give a huge boost to the range of your attacks, and you're using Fox's speed, right? But there are other ways to cancel into up smash that could extend the range. The longest one by far was dash attack canceled up smash, aka Dacus. That was like half a battlefield. Not all characters had this, not all characters had a good one, but Fox does. It is pretty hard to do though. But generally, the most useful way is jump canceling. You could cancel your 4-frame pre-jump frames into an up smash, and you can do this in a dash to get some extra distance on your dash up smash. You could also turn around during pre-jump to do a reverse dash up smash. But the most important part of this is to remember that you could cancel shield with jump. This made out of shield up smash an incredible punishing option. A lot of Fox's gameplay revolves around understanding what you can and can't punish with up smash. It's pretty much vital to his matchup with Meta Knight. A lot of Meta Knight's attacks can actually be punished with up smash. So why the huge tier list discrepancies? Why the argument? I think it's because Fox is such a high utility character. Any situation he finds himself in, he has the tools to get him out of it. His difficulty makes him very inconsistent, but there isn't necessarily a point in the game where he is completely helpless. I can see why they don't see him losing to most of the cast. Big thanks to Super Squank for making this incredible frame data directory. It's pinned on their Twitter. And if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and also check out the main channel where I'm making games, including a platform fighter. Thanks for watching.